Hello everyone, today is one of those days where I get to check the box. Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the channel. Today I get to add a book to the collection that's on the list. I don't know, we'll call it the bucket list. A bucket list book unboxing. And this is one that I've already got a bucket list book checked off for this book. It is Jim Butcher's Stormfront. And if I remember where I stuck it, I already picked up the Subterranean Press signed and limited edition of Stormfront. And I was very, very excited to get this book. I'll just show you real quick the signature page. And I was very, very excited to get this book. Stormfront is the first book in Jim Butcher's Harry Dresden series, the very long series. And I've bought some of those books in that series thinking, hey, it kind of sounds good. And then I realized I'm never, ever going to be able to buy the first few books because they're way too high, the limited editions of those books. And I ended up selling some of the later limited editions of those books. And then I ended up getting that one. I got it at a price well below what they've sold for on eBay. So I bought it, and then it's like, man, I had 4 of the books already in that series. I could work on a collection. I've read Stormfront, and I loved it. It's the only book in the series that I've read, but I've got plans to read on through. Anyway, I love Stormfront, and I love the concept of a modern-day wizard detective in Chicago. A character that Jim Butcher says he's modeled a little bit off of Robert B. Parker's Spencer. That character. Anyway, I love the concept. I love Stormfront. And once I read it, I realized, golly, I really need to get a good copy of a limited edition of Stormfront. And there's 2. Subterranean Press, and then later Grim Oak Press did one. But the prices were too high. Anyway, watch that video. I got it. And then once I got that one, I said it'd be kind of neat to have the signed limited edition from Grim Oak Press of Stormfront. And I believe they're about to publish pretty soon Full Moon, which is the second book in that series. So, as luck would hold, somebody listed one on eBay at a price I could tolerate, and I was able to buy it. And that person, before I even got the book in, sent an email out to Grim Oak saying, hey, I sold this book off. This fella right here, he'd like to buy Full Moon, so maybe I'll be able to buy Full Moon directly from Grim Oak without having to shop around, which sometimes gets expensive. Anyway, that book came from Italy, and it actually came pretty quickly. I was very surprised to find a note in my mailbox yesterday saying that the book couldn't be delivered because somebody had to sign for it. So I went in today, picked it up. Here she is, and I'm sure enough excited, hoping for the best. I believe that this book includes the slipcase. See, Grim Oak Press, with their books, as far as I know, they sell slipcases for their books, but it's on a very limited basis. When you order the book, it doesn't automatically come with a slipcase. You have to order the slipcase separately. And I've noticed on the listings for their items that it'll mention that. So it does give you a little bit of a heads up, and I think they even include the link to order the slipcase for the book. The problem is, if you don't order it up front, you might not be able to get it at all, because I think they only make a certain number. I don't know how it works, but a lot of folks will buy the book and then later on want the slipcase, and it's too late. I'll see them on the internet wishing that they'd have bought the slipcase up front. Anyway, I prefer slipcases with my books. To me, that's a big bonus with a book, and it's a big selling point. So I believe this one came with a slipcase. I believe it did. Anyway, my seller, who did a great job of packing, almost got hypnotized. The bubbles, they hypnotized me. I love the popping of the bubbles. Anyway, we got some protection on top, some protection on bottom, wrapped in a bag with some tape. Might have to do a little work to get into this one, but we'll see. We'll see. So we got a bagged book. I guess you could call this an eBay book unboxing. How about that? That's what we'll call it. That's what we're going to see. I'm hoping will be worth the wait. This, for me, like I said, is a bucket list book unboxing. A bucket list, for me, my definition, is a book that I just really, really want, that I think I should be able to get, so it's within reason, and that I hope, my guess, before I kick the bucket, that I'll be able to have one on my shelf and achieve that goal. The good news is, if I don't reach that goal, I'll be dead. Who cares if I got the book I wanted or not? I'll be dead. Anyway, here it is, and it is slipcased. So right off the bat, let's take a look at this slipcase. It's shiny. It's really nice. Nice slipcase. It honestly looks a lot better in my hands than it did in the pictures. When I first saw it, I kind of remember thinking, well, the slipcase don't look that great. That's the problem sometimes with photographs. You don't always get to show people what something's going to look like when they get it in hand. But at least it's better when what you get in hand is better than what you expect. So a nice quality slipcase of sturdy construction. It feels like it's a cloth covered slipcase. But anyway, I'm no expert on what it's made from. And here is my book. I love this dust jacket artwork. The artist is Chris McGrath. And as far as I know, this is the first book that I've got featuring Chris McGrath artwork, as far as I know. So there it is, the dust jacket. You can see the ribbon page marker, the Smithsonian binding, good quality books. Grim Oak Press has already made a name for themselves by publishing nice quality books. Let me get this dust jacket out and let's take a look. So this book was designed where it doesn't have any titles, names, or anything on the covers, just on the spine, which is nice. I love it many ways, but this is one. I do prefer to have the title on the spine of a book so I can look on the shelf and know exactly what a book is. The title, it seems to complete the book for me. But when the cover's blank, I kind of dig that. It doesn't take away from the artwork. Lets the artwork tell a story for you. And also, when a book's sitting on the shelf, what do you see? You're normally just going to see the spine. So tell me what the book is by the spine. And let's take a look at the book itself. This is described as bonded leather. Now, I had a friend in high school, Doug Sizemore. Doug, if you're out there, hey, bud. Doug Sizemore once told me, I don't know why they even bother calling something bonded leather. Why don't they just say fake leather? It'd cut out all the confusion. That was Doug's opinion. So anyway, Doug does not necessarily speak for the channel. But every time I see the words bonded leather, I think of good old Doug Sizemore, also known as Teen Wolf. Doug Sizemore was one of those guys in high school, long hair, but that beard was massive, chomp. Probably the only guy in our high school that could grow a really good beard, and he probably could grow a better beard then than I can grow now. Anyway, they called him Teen Wolf sometimes, and he embraced it. It wasn't like he was offended by it or anything else. He embraced it. There's a signature page, a beautiful signature page, signed by author Jim Butcher, as well as artist Chris McGrath, and mine is copy number 498 of 500 copies. So just like Indiana Jones, he slid right under that door just before it closed and got me my book before it all ended. Now, from what I read, there are several color interior illustrations in this book. And since we're already here, already got our gear on, got our stuff, let's take a look at some of these interior illustrations, just in case you have not seen them, or you're trying to decide whether to buy this book, or maybe to buy the Subterranean Press book, or even better yet, buy both of them. And anyway, at least now you can see what it looks like. Let's see, another full color interior illustration. Beautiful stuff. And Mr. McGrath seems to have my vote already. I'm no expert on artwork, but like all of us, when we see something we like, we know it. And I like what I see so far, so let's take a look. Here's Here's something that I do like about the artwork in this book. In Stormfront, it doesn't talk about Harry Dresden wearing this cool hat that he's often pictured with. He's often pictured with a neat looking hat. It really looks cool, but it doesn't talk about him wearing a hat like that in the book Stormfront. It is pretty specific on what he's wearing, and he's not always wearing flattering clothes, impressive clothes. In fact, the way he's dressed, people often look at him without delight, or without, they're unimpressed by the way he tends to be dressed throughout a lot of this book. Gets caught off guard, I guess we could say. But beautiful interior illustrations, high quality book, bonded leather, so Doug Sizemore's not impressed, but it feels nice, it feels good in hand, it looks great, and the book is phenomenal, flippin' phenomenal. I love Stormfront. I can't wait to jump into Full Moon. I've got 2 books planned to read, 1, 2, and then I intend to hit Full Moon next. So I've been reading, this is the November, beginning of November. I've been hitting horror hard. Why? Of course. But anyway, now I got 1 more horror book to finish. I'm going to jump into a fantasy, and then I'm going to read Full Moon and move on a little bit with this collection. Years ago, as a reader, I would start a collection, and I would just keep on reading, or start a series, and I just keep on reading until I got caught up. But anymore, I tend to jump in and out. I'll stick to it if I like it, but I almost felt like I would get bogged down in a series. So I'd read and read and read and read, and I'd be, I wouldn't get sick of the series, but I'd feel like I was kind of caught or trapped. But I found eventually that if I would jump in and out, back and forth, when I go back to the series, it would feel very comfortable, and I would really be into it just like that, excited to get back, to meet an old friend, I guess you could say. And that's the game plan for all of these all of these Harry Dresden books. I believe I was watching an interview, and I believe Jim Butcher said 25 was the magic number for this series. That's a bunch. Now, I don't intend to have every one of them. I probably won't, but I'd like to get some more. I don't know. Maybe I'll get them all. I don't know. 25 books on the shelf in a series, that's a lot of space and a lot of dough. I don't know. Probably read them all. I may not collect all of the limited editions, but if I do in fact have rights to this series through Grim Oak, and if they do in fact continue to publish them, I probably will in fact continue to buy them, at least for a while. And that's all the lies I can think of at the moment to tell. So thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the channel. It doesn't hurt that bad. Anyway, c'est la vie, baby.